Let's see how can we handle any long or short form in latest React by using useActionState hook. Also, we don't need to create one single state for handling the form data. useActionState does that all for us. So watch this full tutorial, and here we also see how we handle errors and loading as well. So what is useActionState? useActionState hook is used to handle form without manually handling, loading and error. In simple words, for handling form, we don't need to create loading and error state. This hook does that automatically, and this is really cool, right? So let's see how we can use this hook. So here in our application, we create a new component called newsletter.jsx. Inside this, we add functional component code using RFC. Now at the place of this div, we add form, and inside the form, first we add s2 tag, join our newsletter. After this, we need two input box. So input, and here we add placeholder, enter your full name. And after that, we duplicate this input box and simply change the placeholder to enter your email. And at last, we simply add button with text, join now. Save this file, and in the app.jsx file, we comment out this effect event component and add here newsletter component. Save the changes and take a look. See, here we get this form. Now let's see how we can handle this form using useActionState. So here in our newsletter component, we add useActionState. Now in this hook, we have to pass parameters. So at the first position, we have to pass the async function which we want to run when our user submit this form. For now, we simply pass signup as function. We will define it in just a minute. Now at the second argument, we have to pass the initial state of this form. So for initial state, we pass empty object. These two arguments, async function and initial state, are compulsory. But at the third argument, we can pass the permalink, which is optional. Now you might ask, what is permalink? Permalink is a string containing the URL. This is the URL this form should submit to. In simple words, if the JavaScript is not loaded yet on the client, our browser will use this URL to submit the form via standard post request. And if the JavaScript is loaded, then React handles this form via this function logic. This is an optional value, so we don't pass anything. Now as all hooks, this hook also returns variables. So here we add const and get those values in the square bracket. First of all, we get the state. This is the result of our function call. So whatever we return from this signup function, that data we will get in the state variable. After that, we get form action. This is the wrap version of the function we provided in arguments. Let me show you. Imagine we create this useActionState hook, but how React will know that this useActionState should run on this form? So for that, we have to pass the action attribute in the form tag and simply pass here this form action. Now when this form gets submitted, then this function will run. That's it. Now in the useActionState, we get the last variable, which is pending. This is similar to the isLoading state we create for displaying the loader. So with useActionState, we don't need to manage isLoading state manually. React does that for us. So when the function starts running, React will set this isPending variable to true. Otherwise, React will set this isPending variable to false. Now let's define this signup function so your all doubts will clear. For that, we create a new file called actions.js. And in this file, we create a sync function, sign up, and here we get two things. First, we get previous state, which is the previous state of the form. And then we get form data. This is the current data we get from our form. For now, let's simply console.log previous state and form data. Now to use this function, we have to export it. So we simply add here export at the beginning. Save this file, and in our newsletter component, we write sign up and see auto import works. Save this and let's see we get the values or not. Write values and click on join now button. See, here we get the previous state, which is empty object, and then we get the form data. Now as we know, to access form data, we have to use formData.get method. So here also we console formData.get, and here we have to pass the input tag name. So first of all, we pass name attribute for our first input tag, let's say full name. And then we add name attribute for this input also, and we call it add user email. Save this, and in our signup function, we can access formData.get full name, and then we also console formData.get user email. Make sure you pass the same attribute name here, otherwise it will not work. Save the changes, and I write here full name, code bless you, and email to code1@gmail.com, and click on join now. See, in the console we get values. So we are getting the values of our data. Now let's make this more realistic with display loading. So as we know, this useActionState return this is pending variable, and using that we can display the loading. So when our form is performing the backend task, we can disable the submit button for preventing the unnecessary clicks. So here we pass disable attribute, and here we pass is pending. So if is pending is true, then our button will disable, and if is pending is false, then our button will clickable. Also, we can change the text of the button. So curly brackets, if is pending is true, then we display text joining, else we add join now. Save the changes and take a look. Click on join, and for very little bit we see the joining. So let's add some delay in our function so we can see that very clear. So here in the function we simply add await, new promise, response, arrow function, and we return set timeout and pass here response and time to 1000 milliseconds. Save the changes and click on join now. See, here we get the joining, and also our button is disabled while this form is getting submitted. Now let's see how to display success of the form and also error of the form. So for success and error, most of the time server returns the object with success and error properties like this. If request is successfully done, then success to true, error to null or empty, and then if they want to return data, then they will also add them here. And if request is failed, then success to false, error to error message, and if they want to send more details of error, then they can also add that. So by using this success and error property, we can display success and error message. So to simulate this, from our signup function, we simply return object success to true and error to null, and we also pass message to registered a new user. Now you might ask, how can we get this object in our newsletter component? It is really simple. As I told you before, whatever we return from this function, we can get it in this state variable. So to display success, before this join button, we add condition state.success is true, and then we return paragraph tag and simply print here registered successfully. Also, we do the same for the error state.error is available, and then we return paragraph tag and simply print state.error. Save the changes and take a look. Write values and submit. See, here we get the success message. Now let's also test the error as well. So in our signup function, before this return, we pass if condition form data dot get user email is equal to empty string, then we return object with success to false, error to email can't be empty. Save the changes and take a look. Write the name and directly submit the form. See, here we get the error. So that's how, by using useActionState, we can handle form without creating any unnecessary state for loading an error. useActionState does that all for us. Also, here I found one thing. When we have error in our form and we are submitting the form, our return values are getting clean. User have to write again the other fields which are correct. So it's better we don't remove those previous values. Let's quickly fix that. So here in our signup function, first of all, we get const full name is equal to form data dot get full username, and then const user email is equal to form data dot get user email. Now when we return this data, we can also return a new property called entered values, which we set to object and pass here full name to full name and user email to user email. And we do the same for this success also. So copy this entered values property and paste it here. Now back to our component, and simply we add one attribute in the input box. Default value is equal to, in curly brackets, state question mark dot entered values question mark dot full name, or we pass empty string. And for email input, default value is equal to curly brackets state question mark dot entered values question mark dot user email, or we pass empty string. Also, initial state for this form, we pass here success to false and error to null. Save the changes and take a look. Write only full name and submit it. See, still we have our values. So to quick recap, we can use useActionState hook for handling form without creating loading and error state. useActionState does that all for us. Also, it is not necessary to use useActionState. It will just reduce your boilerplate code. If you feel more clear and you feel more control in useState, then you can definitely use old way. There is nothing wrong with that. Also, do you know how can you build email draft feature in modern React? For that, you can check out this full tutorial. See you.